Hello everybody, what's happening? My name's Neil, welcome along to Midlife Motors, and yeehaw, my night shift contract is finally over and I've got a little bit of time off, so I want to get back into YouTube. I want to do a video on this car. Remember, we picked this up a couple of months ago and it's been my daily driver. So far so good. We'll run through the pros and cons when we do the video. A little bit heavy on fuel, I would have to say. That's noticed that already. But today, the main aim of today's video is I want my SLK back in the garage. I've got some time off now and I want to use it. It's taxed, it's MOT'd, it's insured. We're going to take this 30 minutes away, run through what's gone on with this because it's just turned a year old, done 7,500 miles, and then enjoy a lovely drive back in the SLK. Hopefully the sun will come back out. I'm quite excited, you can probably tell. Let's get back into YouTube. 7,512 miles. So bearing in mind that this is Midlife Motors' fun car, it's only a year old, it tells you how much she's been driving it. She has a daily driver, and I think since the Mini's gone, this is the Mini, since the MX-5 has gone, which is a shame, this has been the sort of go-to car for a bit of fun. It's kind of not dissimilar, albeit the power's different, the front wheel drive, it's not a convertible, etc. But it is a fun car. It does have a special feeling, much like the Mazda did. It's been, after a year, these are serviced every 2 years, so no service this year, and no faults to report. Everything's been fine with the car. The only thing I've had to do, I've swapped the tyres front to rear because we're keen to burn up these run flat tyres and get onto something a little bit less bang, wallop, crashy. Now, I'm comparing it a little bit. I'm going to do a video, I think, between this car and the Focus, because obviously they're hot hatches, they're a similar sort of price, but they're very different cars. I'm not going to go on too much about it in this video. I'm going to save it for one that we'll do later. But what I've noticed, what I would jump out at me, this car's easier to drive. Not necessarily better, but easier. It's much better built. There's still not a single rattle in here whatsoever. It's miles better on fuel, but the seats in the Focus are much more comfortable and much more supportive, and also the ride at the moment in the Focus is way better. There's other things, we'll touch on them in the video, but so far the Mini is going well. I don't think Mrs. Midlife Motors has got any plans to change it soon. I'm quite happy about that. There's some nice corners up here that really suit this car. Yeah, so far so good. In fact, there's nothing ahead of us just now. Let's just get down a couple of gears. The acceleration, the boost out of the corners. Woohoo! It does make a good noise, this car, as well, I would say. And the brakes, absolutely excellent. So much grip. Oh, the front end just goes exactly where you want it. And the back will dance around a little bit. Acceleration, that's where this car is. It's a little bit, it's not as practical as the Polo was, but it's a much more engaging drive. I think it's got a smidge more performance as well, just in a straight line, but certainly its brakes, its cornering, yeah, these are great cars. Factor in the fact that I think it looks fantastic. You've got all the kit in here as well, the pan roof, the superb stereo, you even got a heads-up display. Not I particularly look at that. Yeah, quite a machine, these. Glad we've got one. There we are then, we've made it. Always a fun drive in this car, and like I say, doesn't it look, I just think the Minis, this shape of car just looks so good. They really got the LCI2 spot on. But this is what we've come for. So let me get this unplugged and out into the sunshine. Mini in its new home for a few days, plugged into the C-Tech charger. If you've got one of these, if you're thinking about getting one of these, make sure you do that. The batteries in these don't last long if the car's sitting a week or so, and it will start to an hour about starting correctly. But now we're going out and about, time to jump in this thing here. A little bit of nostalgia here. I started my YouTube channel just over 4 years ago, and it was 4 years ago to this very day I brought this car to the channel for the first time. And that's because I know it was 4 years ago because it was my birthday then, and this is my birthday today, and I always make it a point of driving this car on my birthday. No matter what I'm doing every year, I take the day off and I drive this car on my birthday. A little bit of a backstory. Some of you might get a bit bored by what I say here, but I bought this car, crikey, it'll be 10 years old this year, 10 years ago for my 40th birthday. I was a year late, to be honest, but it was a car, so it's a car that's been with me for a long time. It's a car that's got a lot of sentimental value. It's a car that, despite all its flaws and faults, really has got under my skin, and it's probably the one car, crikey, you'll know something's gone particularly wrong if I ever have to sell this, because the intention is to never do that. So there you go, a little bit of nostalgia. Happy birthday, Neil. Woohoo! This car goes. As well as this nostalgia, we better look forward now. So what have we got planned? Well, I've got a few head-to-heads coming up, I think. Like I said on the way down there, we need to put the Mini up against the Focus. And yesterday I spent a little bit of time on the dark side driving a Boxster, and fortunately the owner of that car is going to let us go head-to-head with that and this, so that's going to be interesting. This car replaced the Boxster, a 981S, but the Boxster I was in yesterday is a 718, so it's a turbocharged engine, and I'll be honest with you, that has transformed that car. It so much more suits that engine, despite what everybody says on the internet. Oh no, you've lost the flat six. The turbocharged 4 just brings that car alive. It gives it torque, which is what it needed. I think also we've got a few cars to review. One of my friends has got a nice M2 competition, so it'd be lovely to have a review of that. And we've also got to take this car on a journey this year. We're going to have to celebrate the fact that it's 10 years old. We're going to have to get it over 10,000 miles, because many of you know that despite driving this every birthday, I don't drive it much more in between. It needs a service, and it's got a little fault. The air conditioning doesn't seem to be working well. It seems a bit sporadic. I don't know if there's a little bit of a leak, a little bit of a, I don't know what, but that needs to be investigated. And as you can probably feel when we're hitting some bumps, it's really gone a bit crashy. I think the tires are definitely going to have to get replaced now. They've really gone off, and I'm not feeling a lot of grip as I turn in. So those are the things that we want to do as we head forward with the car. Just enjoy it. Got some time off now, and it's really time to enjoy this car. Hopefully get the hood down and listen to that V8 growl. At the moment, unfortunately, I can't make that happen because there's a slow car in front, there's a van behind, and we're on a congested piece of tarmac. No good. We've put the roof down for the outro bit, just so that we can say goodbye happily. Thanks very much for watching this one. If you've enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. If you want to see what's coming up, then please hit subscribe and come along for the journey. I've put the car into second gear so that we can listen to the V8 finally, and woohoo! Oh man, oh man, oh man. What a car. Goodbye. Oh, I'm so glad this car's back. What a car. GoPro, stop recording.